I think that I've said this pretty much every day, but I'll say it again, that this movement marching every day and growing every day has the power now to defeat Donald Trump, not by removing him all the way in November by a vote, but by forcing him to resign or be removed now. And so I would like to, I have other members of BAM who want to help to read some demands that we have that we've put together that are all surrounding and in conjunction with getting Trump out now. Because if we do that, we have the power to do anything, to win everything that we want in this society. Okay, so I'll start from the top. So, program of action for the new civil rights movement. Justice for George Floyd. Jail all killer cops. Jail all killer cops. Real equal justice for all at last. To protect the movement and save democracy, Trump must resign or be removed now by any means necessary. To empower the movement to end police racism and violence. Make all records of charges against police public. All cops with racist history must be fired. No more hiring of racist cops. Ban all lethal force by police, including tear gas, pepper spray, rubber bullets, batons, chokeholds, all weapons of war and police techniques that carry a risk of killing people. Across the U.S., police departments have proven their incapacity to use such weapons and techniques, in particular in minority communities, in a way that is even remotely safe and not murderous. Free all protesters arrested during the course of the last week's protests, with all charges dropped. So protesters are not criminals, but the heroes of our democracy, and police out of the schools.
My name is Lauren Jones. Stop all the Trump-led steps towards a police state in America. The movement's demands to end police brutality, racism, and abuse must be public policy. The movement must have the power to enforce its demands. The movement must defeat all Trump's threats of a military seizure of power. Officers and rank-and-file soldiers must reject Trump's call for the U.S. military to be used against the American people. No racist civil war in America. Federal troops must be kept out of Washington, D.C. For the movement to unite all minority and oppressed communities in one mighty struggle for equal justice for all. The movement has the power to change our country for the better if it unites black and brown and all defenders of democracy and equality in a single, independent, integrated struggle. No more relying on politicians and political establishments that have failed over and over again for generations. The real power is in the streets. Y'all already knew that though.
Hi everybody, I'm Victor with BAM. Immigrant rights are civil rights. DACA must stay, Trump must go. Call on the Supreme Court not to side with Trump. Trump must be removed to defend DACA. Full citizenship rights for all immigrants, no racist border wall. Open the borders. Full defense of the right of asylum. Let the caravans in. Shut down immigrant concentration camps, no deportations. Thank you.
My name is Leanna. I'm with BAM. I want to read the next part. To defeat injustice anywhere, the movement must fight for justice everywhere and fight to save human lives against COVID-19. Defend Roe v. Wade. Free mass testing for COVID-19 available to all, whether the patients are symptomatic or not. Removing Trump will save thousands of lives. End his anti-science policy around COVID-19. No premature opening of schools. In-person classes should resume only after mass testing has been systematically conducted to ensure the pandemic is under control. Defend quality public education, no school closings.
So that's a list of demands that we've come up with immediately, and that we think that put us even more on the road to getting Trump out. So I'd just like to take a vote on those demands, and if anybody else doesn't have this flyer, if you want extras or want to sign up with us, please come up. But okay, all in favor of those demands? Woo! Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I think those, just to say, and I'll just say this, in the greater scheme of things, why we have to first recognize that we're part of a national movement, and that this is what enabled us in Detroit to be able to build a really integrated militant movement that's been standing strong. And I just want to say how crazy insane Trump is, right? Like, if I was Trump, and like, I really want people to think about this for 2 seconds, I would have no incentive to follow the rules, which means I would, under no circumstances, have any desire to leave regardless of what the elections are. Because he's shown his capacity, and more so, his ability to organize Democratic Party politicians to show their capacity to be ruthless, totalitarian dictators through militarized police forces. Because there's a reason why. And this happened before Trump, to be honest. We've seen, in particular, militarization of police forces in urban areas. Because they know that we're fighters. And when they look to impose harsh austerity measures and cuts on us, that we're gonna fight back. And in response to our fight back, their response is arm themselves to the teeth with tanks and military-grade weaponry. So I think that that's like really important to like think about as we continue to build this movement. And when we say that power is in the streets and we're the ones, like the movement, that's going to like really make equality real, like that's not hyperbole, right? Like that's not just like saying it just for the sake of it. Like it's real and it's serious. We're the only people actually, because to be frank, the Democrats have time and again, with very few exceptions, shown their incapacity to fight for us. That's why we're in these streets in the first place, right?